All right, we're going to try this again. Yep, let's try it again. And we are live. All right, here we go. I'm not sure what happened there, but we're going to get right back into it. It's all right. So, that being the case, we were just talking about MIDI. I played a piano line and we got right into it, right? All right, so if you don't know how to play piano, if you don't know how to get your hands on it, do me a favor and go ahead and use the transposer plugin. Really effective and just really useful to utilize during your sessions. All right, let's get back in here. And so after that, I use the reverse MIDI trick. So let me isolate that so we can hear it. Here, let's remove that. All right, great. And so in combination, that sounds like this. All right, so the fantastic part is this, piano melody is really driving it forward, right? It's really telling the listener, this is what we're doing, this is what we're feeling here. So let me go ahead. All right, and I just turned on my phone here, so if you guys want to get on here, ask me some questions. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, so that's the basis of the track. So now we're gonna go back into left brain, right? Steer clear of the creativity, and we're gonna look at pragmatically what is next. All right, so number one here is replace the drums. So let's get into that. You can do this on the same screen, okay? That's fine, but sometimes visually it helps to remove yourself from the visual cues. So let me teach you how to do that. All right, for all my Logic users, you guys know I'm an Apple certified T3 trainer. Spent years working on this program. I've read 10 manuals. I am all about that life. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the beat here. All right. I'm not going to do the hi-hats yet. In fact, let me color these two red. If you guys know my work, I'm big into color schemes, and so that's great. And so what we're going to do is we're going to control click this area, and we're going to tell Logic, hey, I want to pack, not a take folder, because that's a whole nother technology there, but we want pack folder. You'll notice that now this becomes kind of one region. Top left of the region, you see a little folder, and so now we know this is a packed folder. Now here is the ticket. When I double click this specific region, I can now access, hang tight, hold on. Pack folder, what's up? It's not working. All right. Let me try another way then. We'll do it this way. I'm going to hide other tracks because I'm not getting the behavior that I was expecting here. And so I'm going to go ahead and mute these two. I'm going to mute these two. And for this track here, we want it isolated on the screen. So in order to do that, I'm going to hide these two tracks. How do I do that? You hit Control H, and you can see there's a green button which indicates that it's going to hide. Same thing here. We're going to hit Control H, and I'll do the same by holding Shift and clicking on all of these tracks so we have no visual distraction. We're just kind of in the mix, clear about everything. All right, so I'm good there, and then now we want to just hit this H up here, and now we have a lot of screen real estate to work with. Again, this is just for my beginners. All right, I need you to pay attention to the details. You really want to get good at this, you really have to take an immense amount of attention and put it on the details, okay? All right, so what we're looking to do is to replace this drum beat. You can do it with other samples. You can go inside the loop browser and find other things. I'm just going to show you various approaches that I like to implement. So right now, I have a machine inserted, and so I'm going to go ahead and open up an audio track, and I'm going to tell Logic to open up machine. I've got it connected on channels 5 and 6. Again, it doesn't matter how you do this. This is just the way that I specifically like to work with this program. And so let's see if I get some. Okay. Man, I'm not getting any sound from it. All right, it's all good. Let me just record it. Um, and then I'm just gonna start editing stuff. So I don't have a reference. I can't hear it necessarily, but I know the part and I know what I want to do. So I'm gonna go here and hit record. Wait. Okay. All right. Let's listen back and let's see if I get sound from this. Was Oh, I see what's going on. Give me the wrong signal. Okay, cool. So on my machine, gotcha. All right, let's go back here. Yep. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, so now you're hearing what I'm hearing. Now, if we take a close look, we can see that obviously there's going to be some problems with playback because we got to fix this. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my snap mode and I'm going to play with the various units of measurement: bar, beat, divisions, and ticks. I'll start with division, and the goal is to line this up so that it works musically. I will be replacing this, or at least I think I will for now, and so we'll deal with that in a second here, but I just want to make sure this lines up. So let's talk about the behavior of a zooming function inside of Logic. If I select a region, you'll notice it's in key focus right now, right? It's highlighted. And I start to use the scrolling gesture. You can see now that the entire screen, the entire tracks area begins to zoom on this region. If this one was selected, for example, the second one here, second region, and I start to zoom, you can see that the screen will kind of modify itself and stretch itself to fit that specific region. So we are selecting these two and we're zooming in to allow us to make the best edit that possible. All right, so this looks pretty good. I'm holding Option. I'm using a two-finger gesture going up. And now I'm going to not use snap, but I'm going to use nudge. So now I'm going to utilize tick. And you can hit the little left and right arrow buttons there, but we're not going to do that. We're going to just hit the key command, Option, left arrow key. And you can see that gets me pretty close. And I'm going to call it right there. And now the rest of it is probably going to line up a little bit better. But to make sure that it does, why don't we go ahead and start quantizing this? So I've lined it up to the best of my ability. And then now I'm going to hit this icon here. Looks like a sideways figure 8. Or you can also hit Command F to open that menu up and enable it there. And so that's good. And now we go through the same tedious approach, lining everything up so it works. On one of the previous talks, I did talk about flex time, and so that's something that we can look at later in depth. But for now, let me just kind of make sure this is working. All right, great. That's lined up. That looks pretty good to me. I'll take it. Maybe we can move this to the left a bit. And the best part about, yeah, cool. Let me just bring that over here. Okay, and the best part about using these snap modes is that you don't have to do all the dirty work anymore, guys. It can just all line up for you. And so it's a pretty cool workflow. All right, so let's listen to this and see how this matches up. All right, the only one that is questionable is this one. And you can see, oh, hold on. Good. So we're going to go here. We're going to line this up, bring it over. Let's see what that sounds like. Not quite. Wasn't right what I was looking for. So I think the transient's actually right here somewhere. So you see what I'm trying to do? I'm just trying to line it up. Yeah, that's not it either. Here, let's do it one more chance. All right, and so usually if I take any longer than a couple tries, because I know it worked out here, I could just take that same pattern and copy and paste. Sweet. So we'll grab that, bring it over, and I think that should play out well. Yeah. All right. So I don't think I need, hit Command F to get out of flex mode. I don't think I need anything else. Let's take a listen. All right, good. Now I don't need that extra kick because I do believe that's gonna loop around and come back to this. Now here's an important part. I want to turn this into one region, so I don't have to, number one, use the CPU power that I'm currently using to maintain this flex time. That takes a lot of energy from Logic Pro. But the next thing is we want to make sure that it's a perfect integer or a perfect loop. Let me show you what I mean. Right now, we've got 1, 2, 3 regions. If I select them all and I click down here, you can see that the length of this is 0100. That means it's 1 beat long, and so that's perfect, but I don't want to make any mistakes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these at the same time, and I'm going to hit Command J, and that's going to create one file. And so now we don't have 3 various different regions, we have just one file. And again, if I hover over the bottom left or right of the region and I click, you can see the length has been modified a little bit, and so we don't want that, right? So I'm going to go ahead and hit Control and Shift to access okay, so that's kind of limiting me there. Let me see if I can go to ticks. Okay, so that's being a little bit weird because that should be a perfect 4000. So if this ever happens to you, here's a hack. I'm going to utilize bar. I have my command click tool as my marquee tool, so that's set up proper. I'm going to hold command, click, drag to the right. Now I've created a perfect region. It says length 4000, so that's 4 bars. Now I'm going to hit Command J, and then hopefully that rectified it. Nope, it looks like it did it. All right, so let me see if I could do something else here. I'm going to go here. Let me see if I could bounce this to audio. Test. All right, that looks a little better. It looks like it's a little over, but at least it gave me more information. Okay, so I'll take that because all I got to do now is basically just chop off the end. And notice I did that quickly because we're right here, guys. Snap mode. This is really the heartbeat of the program. I talk about this all the time when I do consultations or I got corporate clients. I do this work a lot, help a lot of people, and it's a must. You have to understand this workflow if you really want mastery. If you just want to get in and get out, that's fine. But if you want to experience for the first time a flow, an easy flow where you are connected to the DAW, where you're connected to Logic, and you're actually, even if you have an obstacle, you're actually overcoming and you're getting to your goal. You're climbing and you're moving forward every single time. So that's what we're trying to do. All right, so that worked out quite well. I'm going to click here. All right, boom. Length 4000. So that worked out. You got to find out how to get yours. So that wasn't easy. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. We made it happen. All right, so that works out nicely. From here, real easy, team. Just Command R, machine gun, and boom, you got yourself a nice beat. Here we go. All right, you know what? Real quick, I was just wondering why I can't hear my yeah, maybe it's because of this, my machine. No, I still can't hear it. What's up with that? Let me see if I do this. Hang tight, hang tight. Just trying to figure out if I could get this to play. Yeah, all right, here we go. All right, so yeah, that's one of the things. I have a universal audio interface, and you go back and forth with the software monitoring, but we got it. Great job. Man, it really takes time to get to know your setup, huh? All the ins and outs. You got to be dedicated. You got to be committed. So that's great. Super stoked about that. Let's see if we can add any extra snares. So this is going to kind of be on top of this track. And so we're going to color all this red, right? That's my system. That's how I like to color code. Um, if you have a track selected and you just double click, you get another track of the same sort. And so then now what I'm looking for is just these accents. Let me go ahead and hit low latency mode up here. That's gonna make sure I don't have any delay. Uh, oh yeah, I've got to hit that. hmm Still getting a little bit of latency, but you know what? It's all good. I can always fix that in post. All right. All right. Let me play with this. It's gonna again sound a little bit butchered because of the latency, but we'll fix it after. All right. So I'm gonna cycle through the whole thing. Command A, Command U, create a cycle region. I'll play it a couple times, and I'm now gonna create a take folder, right, rather than a packed folder. So let me go ahead and hit R. Here we go. All right, good. Yeah, it's super strange to be able to play that and try and be on time while you're hearing latency, but it's all good. That's why we have technology. So we're gonna select that, and this time we're gonna approach the game a little bit differently. My aim as a Apple certified T3 trainer is to go ahead and make sure that you guys have the information, right? Do my best, be up to date, and give you kind of the latest and the greatest. So I'm selecting this right here, and so what I want to do is I want to quantize this and see if it could kind of do some of the work for me. So I'm going to hit Command F. We're going to turn on Flex. And I'm thinking, I had some triplets in there, so I don't know. Maybe we'll try 16th note triplets. See what this sounds like. Again, it's going to be off, but the idea is to put it on the grid, and so it makes musical sense. Here we go. Like that right there, I wouldn't mind if it moved over a little bit. So maybe there, let's try it. Not, it's like something like that. All right, that was okay. I want to think about the grid in terms of, let's see, does that help? Let's see. All right, let me turn on, not that guy, that guy. Okay, so now we're inside of the audio track editor, key command E. And so what this does is just gives me a better view of the audio track or the regions as a whole. And so really nice for editing. Let me see, I'm trying to move this there. We want to line it up to the grid, at least to start, to make sure everything is exactly where it needs to be. Alright, that's okay, but it's still not exactly what I'm looking for. And so, yeah, trial and error, let's give it a go. And it's more like, but good. That's okay. A little bit closer from here, though, now that I have a better sense of what I want it to be. Hold on. Yeah. All right, let me see. Maybe just the 16th note quantization works a little bit better. Not bad. Let me try 1/8 triplet. See if that feels a little bit better. Kinda. And so yeah, we'll just kind of keep playing with it. Sometimes I'll just try and yeah, maybe we'll move this over a little bit. Let's see, maybe right there. Let me listen to this from the top. Give me a sec. Yeah, that's not exactly what I'm hearing in my head. But yeah, we kind of stay on it. Let me turn on the metronome, key command K, see if maybe I can get a better reference. Alright, now definitely not that. I think I do want it there. Let me turn off this catch feature so the screen doesn't update every single time I play back from here. It's like not exactly working. So now I'm going to get off the grid. So let's kind of move things around a little bit. Okay, that wasn't bad. Maybe earlier. Let's try it. Okay, for now I'll take it. This will probably go through some changes right over time, but we need to draft it. It needs to be on the screen. So I'll take that for now. Let's see what else we got. All right, so that right there should have been a triplet. Not that was not executed properly, and so see, I've changed my grid division so that I can play with the grid. I know we're looking for a triplet, but that didn't quite work out, and so then now I'm going to adjust my snap mode to match this so that I can create edits in a triplet fashion. See, because default it comes at 16. So it's very important that you understand this relationship. This is why there's a lot of gaps for people. They'll have days where they can do it. They'll have days where they can't do it, and they're wondering why. Why? Well, it's like you need the right information. So let's see if this plays out here. Nope. I'm thinking like 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that's even better. I'll take that. That actually worked out. So that one sounds a lot better than this one. I'm still not even convinced with this one. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You know what? Real quick, I'm gonna go back to a normal, not a triplet division, and maybe if I just work with this, it'll feel a little better. I don't know. Let's see. There we go. All right, cool. All right. So you see how I troubleshooted the problem? That's what we need to do with you. We need you to get to a place where no matter what happens, you got it. That's the important part. Um, Everybody's going to do this a little bit differently. Everybody has a unique way of writing music, just like we all, look differently and speak differently. We each have to kind of figure out the course and how it's going to look for us. I think that's part of the biggest problem when I talk to people, when I consult people, is they're trying to figure out how is it that I can do this? How can I find my unique voice? How can I find what it is that I have to say, and how can it be meaningful enough so that I can monetize my music, so I can finally make a living doing what I love? Because the problem is that society, the music world has sold it as like one dream or just one way of doing it. But the truth is that there are many doors available. There are many doors that you can open, and when you do, let me tell you, it is sweeter on the other side, man. It feels so good to have found a path and to be in my generation, with all the people that I grew up with, to be the last man standing. And so I'm so proud to be able to say that after all these years pursuing music day in, day out, being committed to the process, and just kind of digging in and zeroing in on the vision and the dream. So get yours, like I said, it's possible. All right, let's go back in here. Look, we can be as meticulous as we want to be. It's up to you. My recommendation is you go all in. You guys already know, all in. We can't do this halfway. Find your strengths, double down on your strengths, and after you double down on your strengths, of course, work on the things that you need to work on. So I'm gonna go ahead and just create a basic pattern here so that I don't take too much time, because there's a lot to talk about as mentioned. So let me go in here. Let's go back to triplets perhaps and see if this pans out for us. All right, let me move this one. Let's start right here. See how that goes. All right, that didn't work, and so we're gonna try and find a little place for it here. Let's see what's up. That's okay. Just gonna experiment. It's okay. Not thrilled about it. Let's go here. Yeah, I think the way to do this now that yeah, let's go back to uh, not a triplet, right? Not out of the normal time signature. We're just gonna go here. I think this should do it. Let's try it. Yep. Okay. That this should. What happened here? Something happened. Hold on. Whoa, that bugs out. Okay, maybe I'll let me listen to this. Okay. All right. So let me just save some time here, and I'll bring in some of these other ones. Let me listen to this. All right, this we could obviously go back to that triplet idea, and let me see what I got at the end. All right, this one I'm going to move. I want like just a simple quarter note, 1, 2. Yeah, that's cool. This one seems to be okay with me for now. And then, like I said, I'm gonna double up on the triplets here. So I'm focusing in on these. Control Option to access the zoom tool, and then now I'm inside of division, and so let's try and line this up. See, boom, boom. All right, let's see if this works. No, not into that one. Let me see if I can get this going. Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, it'd be nice if it was like double that speed, wouldn't it? Just like before. So let's try this. Oh, I don't mind that either. All right, for now. Again, this is all just, just having fun. Let me see what I can duplicate here. I'm pretty sure I can do something like this. All right, let's listen to the top, and we'll go from there. Okay, so then now you've seen what that looks like, right? Um, there's a little bit more that can happen here in terms of having action, all right? Something that's super important that I don't talk about enough. I mean, there's a lot of content, right? If you don't know, hfmusicacademy.com, we have classes for Logic Pro. We have classes for mixing and mastering every Wednesday, Logic Pro every Monday, and then music licensing and how to monetize your music every Saturday. So in those classes, I have a whole curriculum, and it's you can't cover it all. You just need more time, and you kind of need to just, do it over the course of time. And so, yeah, man, it's going great. Members are loving it. We're super happy. And so now here, I'm gonna go ahead and start to create a fill. But I didn't play anything in. I'm just basically butchering the files and trying to make something happen. So with your grid division, it's very important to always go back to default. So like if you were playing around and trying out a different grid division, you'll notice that the grid changes behind here. You see how that's changing? So that's very helpful when you're editing, but when it's time to reset and go back to performance or treatment of audio, you want to make sure that you reset at all costs. It's very important to always kind of get back to ground zero. So I want to start editing this. Let me listen and then think of a fill, a drum fill, a beat that works. Okay, so I know for sure that we could use this again, maybe like this, but like kind of, it needs to come in again. I'm just not sure of the exact time. Okay, so that didn't work. I'm pretty sure we could do something like, yeah, something like that sounds good to me. Um, okay, and then now let me do something exaggerated, all right? Something that's a bit more kind of animated. So we're going to utilize the same technique. We're going to take, I don't know if we'll do 30 seconds or 64. Let's start with 30 seconds. My snap mode is in division, all right? And I'm going to take just the very beginning of this, and I'm going to create a fill with my own material. So I'm kind of recycling my own material. Check it out. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. It could have been a little bit faster, but you know, it all depends on what you're going for. Let me go ahead and reduce the overall. Uh, Hold on, let me listen to that again. Okay, so that's one option. Let me show you another one. You got to be careful with these edits. I don't know if you saw that little region there. All right, so here's 64. Here, check it out. And so notice that I changed the grid division. Okay, and here, so I don't run into any more problems. Let me zone in on this. I don't think you guys are seeing this here. Look, see that little guy? That can cause a lot of problems if you're not aware of it. That's just kind of like a leftover uh, part of the region. And so yeah, if you're not hip to that, it can be super problematic. All right, so yeah, as stated, this time we're using the grid division of 64, and we're gonna line this up and see how this works in our. Okay, cool. So that's a whole nother experience, right? To get that glitch sound. Let's see. I don't mind it. In fact, I like it. Let me just bring the gain down. Okay, cool. I dig it. You can get some really cool effects if you also do a batch edit. So these are all in key focus, and then what you do is you hover over the region that turns into the uh, resize tool, and then just make that a little bit more detailed. It should sound pretty nice. All right, cool. So that's another option for you there. Let me just do one more edit. I'm just curious at this point. Right, so that's a whole different experience. In fact, I kind of like that. I'm going to hit Command C and then just save it like somewhere over here should I want it for the future. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Control M, and so this becomes like a repository of ideas. So that's cool. Um, and how are we going to end this? Wait, didn't I have something there? One sec. No, I guess I didn't. I don't remember. All right, let's listen. All right, so and also I decided that I did want it to be extended out. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay. All right, so let's listen to this entire cycle one time over, and then we will move on. And again, this is not necessarily the final thing. It's not about that. This isn't about laying out your most genius song that you've ever done. This is about putting it on paper. You don't have to wait too long. You can just start to get the ideas flowing. Let your mind uh, take inventory of what's actually happening here, and then once you start to gain some more confidence, then you can kind of finish with power, with strength, with confidence, with stillness. That's what you're looking for. So this song is sounding pretty good. We got the beat going a little bit. We've customized the beat. Let's see what else is inside of the project notes, and let's see what else we can do. Okay, here we go. Um, so we know that the drums are pretty much accounted for. Is there more work to be done? Yes. So I'm not going to get rid of that. Now we're talking about creating a chord progression. So remember that I hit all those tracks? All right, well, let's bring those back. And then before we play them, let's just go ahead and just get a sense of where we're at this juncture. All right, so I'd say that's pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna keep these hi-hats, but this is what it sounds like right now with the hi-hats that are currently in place. Again, that's Logic stock, so you can find that anywhere. Um, that's great. Here is the synth. All right, so we have our piano line, and now we're going to create a progression. That's the goal. I know this song is in the key of C. We can change it later. It's very common to take a song and to change it up. You don't have to just because you wrote it in the key of X, it doesn't mean that you have to stay in that key. So it's very common to be able to work outside of those bounds. All right, so let me go ahead and just play this. Here we go. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reduce, yeah, get that low latency mode. And so as I've told you, the chord progression is still got latency. All right, good. So here, let me listen to this. Man, that latency is funny. All right, so I'm basically gonna play just a real simple, just like a 1 and a 5 for anybody who plays guitar. So you know it's just a basic power chord, right? And so the chord's gonna go from here to here. So that would be A flat. Uh, And so when you play these progressions, you want it to be where it sounds good by itself. In other words, I can play this basic progression on my own, and it should be able to exist by itself without me doing anything, right? I should be able to play a very simple progression like. So that's the goal, to be able to play something that sounds uh, emotionally uplifting, that sounds rich, and that basically moves the song forward. So you guys already know that this isn't necessarily something that comes natural to me. I'm practicing, I'm working on it. The piano is kind of a secondary instrument. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the technology to help me. You can draw the notes in. You can just use capture recording, which I'd used last time. I'm always going to try and use something different in this channel so that maybe if one technique doesn't work out for you, then when you come back, we find another technique at another angle, and maybe that's the one that fits for you. So let's go ahead and think about this. Maybe I can use the brush tool. I can do the pencil tool. I could use capture recording, which I did on the last series. Let me go ahead, and I'll tell you what, man, this is kind of a good test, just to kind of brush up my skills on all this stuff, because there is a lot of information. Um, why don't we just use the brush tool, and we'll kind of just go from there. Yeah. All right. I'll try that. If not, I'll basically come back in here and then just play it in myself. And of course, you could just use the old-fashioned, just get in there and just start recording. So I'm gonna double-click this region. I'm gonna select the brush tool, and I want to play these notes right here. And so I want to play them as, let's do, I don't know if it's going to be a whole or a half note. Let me just try whole notes for now. So you know, the beautiful thing is I can even scale quantize this so that Logic knows exactly what to play, even if I play a wrong note. Now, bear in mind, I also have the transposer on there. But here, I'm gonna hit that, okay, and then the other one's right there, okay. Is this perfectly quantized? It doesn't look like it, so let's bring that over here. All right, that's fantastic. And then we said the other chord. Well, here, let me check this, make sure it works. There's no sustain, so it's probably just gonna sound, you know, blank. And there, we want it there. All right, so that was longer than a whole note. So I'll make that adjustment in a second. And then the other chord is that one right there. So all right, that's one, and then I got the other one. All right, great. So now I'm gonna get out of this brush tool by hitting TT like Tom, and then I'm gonna hit Command A. We're gonna move this to its proper region, just like let's see what's happening here. All right, so this one is on, great. Now let's move this one over, not like that, like that. Okay, and then I want to tell Logic to essentially extend the notes out. All right, and so let's see, we'll select these two, I'll control click and I'll say, hey, can you trim the end of the note to the following note or the selected. Let's try this. Let's see if this works out for me. No, it didn't work out in the other side. See if I try the other one. All right, cool. So that was the one we wanted. So let me read that verbiage. Trim the end of the note to the following note. So I guess it's forcing these to go legato. Okay, so this feels good. Let's add some sustain. So you know that I like to record my sustain after the fact. So let's see if I could bring this up for you guys so you can check it out. Yeah, all right. So if you want your piano playing to sound like it's, you know, semi-serious, my recommendation is that you get a sustain pedal. And the way you want to do it is when you play the chord, you're not hitting the sustain, okay? It's not until after you play the chord, then you press down with your foot and you record that MIDI CC information that goes into that region that's currently on the screen. So again, hit the chord, this is off, and then as soon as you have it sustained, then press down and record, okay? All right, let's get back in. So now I'm going to do this, excuse me, on screen, and we're going to record some MIDI data. Here we go. Let me see. I'm going to hit R. In fact, if you look at all of these notes here, all this stuff here is MIDI data. Okay, so I'm going to hit R. Here we go. Okay, so you can see that the sustain note comes after the fact. You know what I noticed? This is actually going to be too short for it as well. This has to play out all the way, I think, like right there. Let me listen to this. Yep, right there. Okay, so that sounds a lot more convincing than if I hadn't played and it sounds like this. Right? That just doesn't do it. There's no authenticity there. So we got a basic progression going. Let's listen to this transition. All right, good. I might have to even create a separate track to, you know, be able to manipulate this a little bit differently, you know, increase the gains, things like that. So let me go ahead and get that going. All right, so cool. Yeah, we're starting to hear kind of the beginning of an idea. Let me go ahead and hit Command J, make sure all of this is good. Let's bring up these kind of, you know, snare ad libs up here. Man, we're gonna have fun mixing this a little bit later, but this works for now. Let me go ahead. Why do I have so many of these flattened? Let me listen. Okay, and then let's see. Do we need this secondary beat, or can I just keep the one that I was playing with? Let's see. Yeah, I think it kind of needs it. It fills it out in a nice way. It's got some nice reverb. I'm curious if I just cut out the kicks. Like, what does that look like if we literally just chop off some of these kicks? So here, let's cut that. I know these are the kicks here. That's a snare. Forgot if that's a kick. Boom, boom, maybe. Let's listen to that. Yeah, I kind of like what it's doing, so you know what? I'm going to leave it. But at least now this becomes a bit more custom and it's feeling like your song. And by the way, you could go in here and customize that pattern if you wanted, but just be sure that you line up the original, what I call this, the OG beat, and then your kind of modified beat, which would be down here, modified. All right, cool. So hopefully that helps. You can already hear kind of the beginning of a song. Let's hear the progression. Let's see how that's working. All right, cool. I'm really digging this. It works. It doesn't have to be complicated, you know. This is a big, big, big part of what I do, my mission, why I'm here, why I take the time to give this information, to contribute. Like it's your job, it's your, should I say, it's your option. How do you want to do this? What do you want to contribute to, your peers, to the people you work with? It's up to you. And so for me, I know what I'm good at. I know what works for me, and I want people to win. And I know it's possible. And so, it's not going to work if I'm, in a room by myself. I'll put it to you that way. You're not going to help anybody. You're not going to do anything that helps or inspires others if you're just quiet about it. So, just go ahead. Just tell your truth, and that's enough. Right? It doesn't have to be anything extra. All right, let me check this out. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm kind of looking for another, snare fill there. I could probably just, create one on the spot here. Let's do 30-second this time. Change it up. All right, so let me go here. Not sure if it's gonna start. I'm assuming it's gonna go here. Let me just do. Here we go. Yeah. All right. Maybe we can change these up a little bit by pitching them differently, right? So these can be down. Notice that I'm not overthinking it, guys. All right. This is fun. Don't you guys remember when you were kids? Fun. You didn't overthink it too much. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, I can see that working. Yeah, I don't want to overanalyze it. I like the idea. I may go back to 64th here, but just for now. Yeah, I'll take that. Why don't I just lengthen these last two? A lot of this is just kind of getting your own experience and figuring out what works and what doesn't. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll take that. I guarantee you if I put a compressor on the snare ad-libs, it's going to make a difference. So we'll just throw on Logic's compressor. Let's just put on the opto. Let's go attenuation of 5, gain reduction, and see if we could make the sound a little bit more intense. Yeah, cool. Let's see. All right, cool. So you can hear now that what's happening is that it's kind of, you know, being pushed out a little bit more. I always use the example that it's being extracted, like literally you're making it more detailed as a result of putting it, and treating it with a compressor. So that's sounding pretty good. Stoked about that. Um, let's see, what else? Um, I guess for now, just to kind of color this a little bit, and then I'll start adding some. Uh, oh, we gotta get. Okay, so we got the chord progression. By the way, this is gonna be a little bit more extemporaneous. I might add a transition chord from bar 19 to 20, so this might sound a little bit more like this. Wait, I'm sorry. Or something like that. Could be a real simple progression. Doesn't have to be complicated. Something like that where you have that one chord right before the transition. So that's something I'm thinking about, but it doesn't have to be executed. Why not? Why doesn't it have to be executed? Well, it doesn't have to be executed because we're not there yet, right? We're approaching this with tact, with poise. We're taking our time. It doesn't have to look a certain way. What is your way? How do you do it? How do you do it? That's what I'm interested in. That's what I'm interested in, how you do it. I'm real curious, guys. If you have some composition approaches, or uh, how do you go about this? Like, what works for you? Hit us up in the comments. Let us know. hfmusicacademy.com. If you want more information on what we do, support at hfmusicacademy.com will help you out. So I'm digging this. Chord progression is there. At least I laid it out. You can see I'm laying out a very simple sketch, but it's working, right? The vibe's right. There's some energy there. So I'm good with it. I'm happy. I'm happy. All right. So let's go ahead and I don't know if I want to add that yet. Let me reverse the order of this. I'm gonna add some noise here with the trap synth. I'm gonna make this wide. It's I know I'm gonna have an 808 and some other stuff here, so I think the right move, I could be wrong, is to add some saturation. So let me try and find something that to color this a little bit. Oh man, you can't go wrong with this free saturation knob by Softtube. It is money. Check it out. It is really, really nice, and it doesn't cost you a thing. So we're just gonna color this a little bit. Check it out. Did you hear how crunchy it got? Like, so I'm gonna play that again for you. I'll bypass it. Close your eyes if you're somebody that's like overly visual and you need to tune into your ears. Again, maybe you're new at this and you need to refine your ears. But what ends up happening is that you get the texture to change. So I'm listening on headphones right now, and I can really hear it's just so much more crispier. So listen for texture. Okay, I'm gonna bypass it. Let's check it out. All right, so here's before. All right, cool. So I exaggerated a little bit so you could get a sense of what I'm talking about. Let's listen to that. All right, and then now the goal is to basically move it out of the way, get it so that it sounds wider as a whole. We can use some Logic stock plugins, but just for now, just to make move, I'm going to use the S1 Imager by Waves. Go-to plugin, respected in the game. Waves is obviously one of the bigger players. And what's happening is just kind of moving the image out of the way to the sides of the speakers. So let's listen to this. All right, and then considering the fact that I have an 808 that's about to come in and blast through this door, I'm going to go ahead and just hit a little filter here. Let's call it 200. I don't really know where it's going to be. Maybe I'll just apply a little high shelf here just to get some cream on top. Here we go. right? And then it's not a bad idea to sidechain this to the kick. Why? So well, I can hear more of the kick, of course. So we can actually do this, and we've done this on the channel before. We could do it with an EQ, or we could do it with a compressor. We've already done it with the compressor, and so let's go ahead and insert Fab Filter Q3. And so then now I'm going to affect this via frequency. So I don't want to take too long on this because I definitely want to give you a couple more things before I get out of here. 45-day challenge, guys. I already got to song 100 and something. I think I'm on 101 right now. And we have till the end of the month at hfmusicacademy.com to submit as much as possible. Why? Why do we do it? Why do we work like this? Why do we work like this? Because it's who we are. This is what we do. Right? There are people that want to get into politics. That's what they do. Let them do what they do. There are some people that they want to get into quantum physics. That's what they do. Let them do what they do. But this is what we do. This is how we live. This is how we breathe. And so as a function of that, let's do it well. Let's do it with pride. Let's do it with dignity, right? Let's make sure that we put out the best possible product. And in time, over time, we will be so magnificent, man. We will shine in a way that you've never shined before, in a way that you never even thought was possible. And it doesn't matter if there's any haters out there or vexations or people who are negative. It doesn't matter, because you are going to get what is destined for you. Nobody will stop you. Nobody will stop you. All right, so we're back in here, and so I'm going to go ahead and hit the side chain on the modified beat. But remember, we're doing this per frequency. Sometimes I have trouble looking at this, and so I'll just kind of put a little bit of a note to myself, like, hey, this is the one, SC. So I'm gonna go up here, go to audio, and again, sometimes you have like 50,000 tracks up here. Oh, there it is, SC. So the goal is to get the brass. In this case, this is not bass, so I'm gonna color these yellow. And so the goal is to get this to duck down when the kicks come in here on modified beat. And this is going to be frequency based. And so then now I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. I'm going to click on, let's go, let's see, sidechain. Sweet. So that's on. And then we're going to click here and create a dynamic EQ. I'm not sure where the frequency is going to land, but I'm going to find it right now. And then the secret with finding side chaining on a frequency basis with the Q3 is to click on that little guy right there. If you don't click on that, nothing will happen. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. This is not available for the Q2. I just want to make sure you understand that, because I tried to find it a while back and I couldn't. So this is only available on the Q3. All right, let's see if this is working. Yeah. Okay, so you see what's happening there, right? Every single time the kick comes in, these brass are being lowered down, but not in their high frequencies, which I like, which I want, which I need for this song. What I'm talking about is the lower frequencies, all right? All right, so this is sounding good. It's feeling good. Let me make just one more time. I just got to make sure. Yeah, you see how the kick is now popping out a little bit more? Like, really listen. During that duck, it's like the kick is literally popping its head out. Check it out. That is a lot cleaner, a whole lot cleaner than this. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. It's not that hard. All right? Just get the tools, get the approach, learn from somebody that cares about you, learn from somebody that really wants you to get it, that explains it in a way that you understand, okay? And then start applying. It's not enough to learn it, all right? Please, when you're done with this, go back to the DAW and get yours. All right, so that sounds good. I know for sure this kick is going to have to be heavier. It's going to have to be more impressive. I don't know if it's going to be this one. Yeah, it's going to be this one. And so real quick, just a tip that I really, really like. I could separate all of these kicks and treat this differently, but just for right now, I'm just drafting. There's a really great plugin. It's called. Let's see, what's it called? It's by geez, what's the name of that company? Hold on. XLN Audio. I gotta look at it. Hold on. Here it is. Drum Shaper. And what's great is you can accentuate and emphasize either the kick, the snare, or the bus as a whole. I want the kick. Here we go. We're gonna push that kick. I'm gonna soft clip it. I want it to be loud. Without it. All right, cool. And that's just the start. I mean, this song is going to go through an entire journey, and I plan on doing all of it, most of it, if 90% of it or whatever, on screen. So we'll keep this going. The next Wirecast will be on Wednesday night. I'm thinking of going on at 5:30 now. So if you're interested in being on, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Central Time. All right, I'm gonna add some noise, and then I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I think I've been here for a while. So just want to add a little bit of noise. So I brought up Omnisphere, and I started listening to this crazy sound. Here's the patch. And all I did, just to be totally transparent, I try and use tools that help me get there a little bit faster. So I just went up to the search, and I just typed in trap, TRAP. And, that gives you a wide selection of tools that can potentially work. And yeah, it's a pretty great sound. Sometimes, I get a little like, I don't know, just, I'll want to make sure I remember everything. So I'll take like a screenshot, of the sound, something like that, just so I don't lose it. I've had some issues with Omnisphere before. And so then what I'll do is, I took a screenshot of that. So then now I find that and I just drag it into my session, just like that. So that's a really nice little workflow. Just again, just another approach. You just want to make sure it's there, or you want to lock in, ascertain that everything's working. So let's find. Yeah, that could work very well. Let me play this and kind of jam for a bit. Yeah, this can go either way. Again, this latency, man. I got to get around it. I guess I probably could play with my buffer size. I guess that'll do it. I'm gonna try this. If this goes south, my apologies. But here, let me try 512. We'll give it a go. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying yourself. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you guys so much. hfmusicacademy.com. We're loving it. We are loving it. So many great things happening. All right. So that's fine for now. I'm trying to add a tremendous amount of reverb. I need my feedback to go way. Yeah, something like that. Okay. So even if I just hit a simple note. I don't have to have a melody per se, but I definitely want to record this. So. So I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen there. I just know that I like the sound, A, and I know that, hold on, that quantize didn't work because it was on the wrong quantization value. Cool, that works. Um, and I know that I hear something with this basic idea. I like that sound. Like even just that right there, I would be completely content with. But anyway, let me go ahead just for the sake of, being polished here. Let me go ahead and just edit everything, make sure it's where it needs to be. Cool. Yeah, we'll cut that. Appreciate it. All right, let's listen. Yeah, and that's another thing too, is if you can sing it or hum it, regardless if you actually are in pitch or not. But dum da 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 da, you can kind of start getting something that sounds catchy. Paul McCartney from the Beatles used to say that if you can hum it, if you can whistle it, then it's a worthy tune. It's worthy of at least trying out. So sometimes maybe mute the track and just start singing it. So here. Right, you can kind of start getting a sense of what can this be. All right, so let me play this out. Like, I know I dig the sound, and especially if you haven't checked out the free plugin by Valhalla Supermassive, man, these presets are absolutely wicked. Like, here, let's just take a listen to a couple of them real quick. Here, let's intermission. Hold on, you got to listen to these. They're bananas. Here we go, here we go. Alright. Hold on. I want to listen to it with this. Obviously it's a very long delay, so maybe we'll bring down the feedback a little bit. Let's see. So again, just to be clear, I'm not sold on any of this, okay? Let me turn off this MIDI out. I don't care about any of this. The idea was to put it on paper, right? Don't be afraid. And I would be completely happy if literally this was the only part. Listen. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate and then just literally get this to play out every couple of bars. Here we go. Cool. And then just like the bass before it, I'm just gonna look, watch out with that low end. We're making music for licensing here, and so I'm trying to expedite the process, make it as quick as possible, as efficient as possible, and yet as effective as possible. So I'm feeling good. This works. All of this needs work, by the way, okay? Like, this definitely is too long. The decay can be lessened. It's too intense. But for now, just for this moment in time, I'm digging it. I am with it. Let's listen. Okay, So I'm good with that for now. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on here. And so next time I see you guys on Wednesday, we're going to talk a lot more about some other topics here. Before now, let's call it a wrap. Thank you guys so much for everything. Hold on, I'm getting the call. Yo, you good? Hey. All right, let me close it real quick and I'll hit you back. Bye. Yeah, all right, team. Thank you so much for this time. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you and just have this space, just have this you know this time with you. It's like I wouldn't be able to learn myself if I didn't have this, and so I really appreciate this back and forth that we have here. Really grateful to be able to grow with you, to learn with you, and I'm just looking forward to the future because anything is truly possible. And so, for me to you, thank you very much. I salute you. Looking forward to hearing about your journey. Hit us up at support@hfmusicacademy.com if you have any questions whatsoever, and I will see you guys on Wednesday night. All right, cheers. Have a good day. Have a good night. Talk to you later. Bye.